Hey, what's up? So this video is going to be a little off the rails because I suck at making YouTube videos. Mostly the point of this video is to point out and correct a major mistake I made in my last video. You know, the best FastLED tutorial that I've since renamed to the worst FastLED tutorial. I'm going to ramble a bit first and try to be inspirational and crap, but if you just want to skip ahead to the mistake from that video, I'll put a chapter link in the description. Alright, nobody's perfect, least of all me, and I've known at some point I would make a big mistake.
No.
I'm pretty smart 99% of the time, but when I make mistakes, they tend to be really stupid ones, like 1 + 1 = 3 kind of mistakes. For example, I was doing some troubleshooting at work on an assembly card a few weeks ago, and I spent half the night scratching my head over it, only to eventually realize I'd been working on the wrong one the whole night. Yeah, once I realized that and started working on the correct one, I had it fixed in about 15 minutes. I mean, the shift before mine had spent half the night working on it and didn't get it fixed, so it balances out, right? It ended up being just a loose e-stop wire. Okay, let's get inspirational and crap. I can get really critical of myself when I mess up. Maybe you can relate. It's so easy to tell others it's okay when they mess up, but when it's you, there's no greater critic. I can get really angry at myself, but I usually channel that anger into doing better. When you fail, you gotta get up and try again. You don't ever really fail until you quit trying. But then, Shark Tank would tell you part of being successful is knowing when to quit. Well, that wasn't very inspirational, was it? Look, we're all human. In the famous words of the great Bob Ross, we don't make mistakes, just happy little accidents. The safety office doesn't like that quote. And also, there's nothing wrong with having a tree for a friend. Uh-oh.
It was a nightmare.
Unless there's squirrels in there. Anyway, it's good to unwind sometimes. In a good way. Not like, mentally, in a bad way. So, I thought it'd be cool to put together some footage to show you some of my other interests and things that help me chill and de-stress and stuff. Some of you will like it, and some of you will think I suck at making YouTube videos, but that's okay, I already made a disclaimer about that. I got some cool new cars for my car collection. Been playing with the doggos. Hi, Pixie!
No.
Pixie doesn't like drones. I also went camping in the flat tent in the garage, because that's perfect. No, actually I was out at the lake. It was pretty cool. We saw the Elon Musk's Starlink satellites. It's pretty awesome. Someday I'll put a get back together. Oh hey, look! I got another toy car. So this is an old 78 Chevy Corvette. It's a C3 Corvette. Funny story, I actually went looking for a pickup truck. And I saw this and I was like, oh man, I had to have it. Pretty cool car. This is when I was a kid, this is my dream car. And I got it. Doesn't look too bad. Looks pretty clean for an older car. Obviously somebody's done some work on it. But yeah, I can't wait to dig into it and do a little of my own work on it. Also been doing some fishing lately. This lake kind of sucks though, there ain't fish in that lake. Dude, guys, I found another cool car. Look at it. Okay, I suppose I should move on and talk about the mistake from that FastLED tutorial video. I made a very silly beginner's programming mistake. It's something I knew, but for some reason I just completely overlooked because I suck at programming, I guess. I have a suspicion this is what was causing the problems I was dealing with in my underglow lights for RC car videos also. So when we define num LEDs in our program, we set it to 60 because we have 60 lights on our light strip. The problem is we count those lights starting at 0. This is typical in programming. Our range of lights in our LED array is numbered from 0 to 59. That's 60 storage locations, beginning at location 0. This can cause problems with our for loop because the way I had it, we were writing to a location that doesn't exist. This will probably make more sense if I demonstrate what's going on, so we'll open up the last example I made in that video. I'm just going to comment out all the nonsense I had set up for the breathing effect in my main loop for now. I'll set a value to the numLED's location in my LEDs array, add the FastLED.show call, and then a short delay. So we're writing the color blue to location 60 on our light strip here, because that's what we set numLEDs to. Let's download. Okay, all the blinky lights have blinked, and you might expect the last light to light up, but it hasn't, because location 60 is actually one light beyond the lights of the light strip. That's simplifying it a bit. We're actually writing beyond the allocated memory that we set aside for our LED array, which is bad. It can cause a lot of problems, but it's easy to think in terms of the actual lights on our light strip. So here's a solution. We'll just add -1 to numLEDs. Easy! Now we'll be writing to location 59, which is in fact the last light on the light strip. Let's download and check it out. Perfect! Woohoo! Now let's look at the for loops I was using in the original breathing program example. There isn't a problem with our initial incrementing loop. In the incrementing loop, we set I equal to 0, then if I is less than numLEDs, we will execute the code in the for loop. This works fine because when I gets incremented to 60, the if condition will no longer be true. I is no longer less than 60, so the code won't execute after we've written up to location 59. I'll show you just a quick example. Let's add -1 to numLEDs in the incrementing for loop and download. Now we're writing up to location 58 on the light strip, leaving the last pixel blank. This is because our for loop stops when I equals 59 now. The problem with the original code is with the decrementing for loop. In this case, we're setting I equal to numLEDs, which is 60. Then we're saying if I is greater than 1 or equal to 0, we'll execute the code in the loop. The problem is we're writing to location 60 now, which doesn't exist. Here's where we need to add the -1 arithmetic to numLEDs. Let's change colors and download. Nothing seems to have changed other than the color. All the pixels are lit up like they should be. Let's go one step further. Let's add -2 to numLEDs instead of -1. So now we should be writing starting at location 58. You'll notice now that the very last pixel in location 59 is no longer lit, which means in our numLEDs -1 scenario, we're writing all the pixels and no more. So numLEDs -1 is the way to go. Alright guys, I hope this has been helpful, and I'll try not to make such newbie programming mistakes in the future. Or just mistakes in general. My next video is going to be a more in-depth definition of voltage than I've done previously in my Learn Electronics videos. So tell me in the comments what you think voltage is, just for fun. There are no wrong answers, just happy little accidents. This is Life Me Lighting, bringing happy little accidents into your life.